Hello everyone, welcome back to a new YouTube cast. Today we're going to be having a look at this game between Solar in the top right as the blue Zerg, and Dark in the bottom left as the red Zerg player. Zen, pretty small map, and probably the shortest rush distance of any map in the map pool, even though you see a couple of mineral walls, not complete walls of course, you can still move through it with most units. I think perhaps Thors won't be able to fit through, I know Archons aren't capable of fitting through, but I think tanks and Stalkers are just fine. Both players seem to be opening up with a hatch first, no pool first, no 12 pools. So it looks to me like we're at least gonna have a game that's gonna last longer than 2.5 minutes. And as both the hatcheries do go down at 16 supply. The golden standard of hatchery timings, of course. I don't think there's anyone that still plays 17 hatch. Used to be a bit more popular, but nowadays 16 hatch definitely is the way forward. I think the last time I saw a 17 hatch was when I was still doing Alpha Star videos. Alpha Star always preferred to play his 17 hatch. You get the desynchronized queen timing in that case, so it's a little bit annoying for injects, which is why most pros prefer the 16 hatch, and it's, I believe, the same economically or slightly better even. So we'll be seeing extractor into pool for both players as well. So one of the most standard, well, just the most standard opener there is actually. Dark moving one of his overlords a bit to the right already. So we see Solar most likely will send this overlord towards the third base at some point, and then the second overlord could be chilling over here, or maybe he'll do the same thing. As the main two things you want to be paying attention to is your opponent's main ramp, and then you want to see the third base timing as well of your opponent, making sure that there is a third. There's not going to be some kind of two-base roach play, of course without gas, or some kind of two-base layer into two-base Mira, which isn't really a thing. Maybe two-base Nihilus, something like that. There's a lot of possibilities, so let's see what the boys have planned for us. We see speed already starting here for Dark. Solar also gets it. Still 3 workers in gas. Solar only keeps 2 in gas, so might indicate a little more pressure coming out of Dark with a higher baneling count. Faster baneling nest perhaps as well. We see drone moving out to go and grab that third base at the 30 supply. So practically a mirror except for the gas income at this point. We're not seeing a baneling nest as of yet for either player. I guess here we go. Baneling nest going down at the exact same timing, and like I said, slightly more gas here for Dark might indicate some aggression. Does he have any Zerglings on the map? No. He's sending out 2 right now. Just trying to deny a scout really for now. As these overlords are doing a good job seeing everything that could move out across the map. 8 links on the way here for Solar, 16 links on the way here for Solar actually. Both of them having a big link flood right now. With that first inject that pops, they decide, alright, it's time for us to go a little bit crazy. Neither of them have links on the other side of the map that are unspotted. Dark is aware of these 2 links, so he might know that there's 2 banelings on the way. Instead, indeed he does know, as we now see 2 banelings being morphed for Dark in a defensive posture. 1 aggressive baneling being morphed, but won't be able to do too much. We see 2 banelings will be able to defend this, right? And oh wow, what a block. Oh, I wish I could show this. A block with a single morphing bane. Actually blocking of this area. Lings will have to move around. We see 2 banes coming in here. A ling and 2 banes. So okay trade for Solar, nothing special really. As Dark catches a couple of lings off guard. There's already a baneling over here on the bottom side. More banelings are morphing. What is there for Solar? There's a single baneling morphing so far. Yeah, very even. And with the queens as the defender's advantage, I think Solar is going to be fine, even though he has slightly less banelings for now. 1 baneling is moving in. Good zoning. With Dark's banelings here. Trying to catch these queens, but oh, that's a bit of a fluke. Good target fire here by Solar as well, managing to take down these banes with relative ease, and I think Solar's going to be absolutely fine. Solar might still have some counterattack potential here if he managed to clear those banelings. Dark needs to build 10 more links, realizing that Solar still has a lot of links left over actually, so This is one of those things in ZVZ where it's like defender's advantage is pretty big with those queens, where you can just target down your opponent's banelings, and you just require slightly less links and you'll lose slightly less as well. You zone away your opponent's links with the banelings and you target down his banes with your queens. That's the type of micro we usually see. Now for Solar we see an Evo Chamber, 4 gas and a lair. And for Dark we're seeing +1 range attacks and a Roach Warren. So different kind of paths being taken here. As Dark still trying to do some damage, gets a drone here and there. He's up 5 workers already, but I don't think he's going to be able to do very much here. Good scout here by Dark as well, who sees the lack of a Roach Warren, I believe. Sees there's just an Evo Chamber, so he will know that there is a Spire somewhere. Is indeed in the natural. And let's see what Dark's response is to that. We see 2 extra gases being built. We see more drones in production. Dark already up about 6-7 drones. We'll extend that lead a little bit further. Or at least make sure that his lead will still be there in a little bit. Couple of links. I'll be going for some baneling run-bys later on. Good baneling detonation on top of a lot of these drones. 6 drones end up falling. 62 to 46 right now. But Mutalisk generally the better play than just roaches. I think the win rate of Mutalisk is extremely high currently in ZVZ, especially greedy mutas. Now this isn't quite greedy mutas because Solar has almost no workers. He's down over 20 workers at this point. Good Ling run by might be able to do something here. No upgrades on these Lings though, so not a single baneling either. We'll be able to get 2-3 workers perhaps, but it's not quite the jackpot that he needed to get back into this game economically. As we see 6 gases going down for Solar now. There's still no +1 upgrade. This is something that's bothering me as well. Usually when you see Muta play from a Zerg, you also see the Ling upgrades, and then after a while you'll see loads of baneling run-bys, especially with +2. Being able to one-shot drones is a very big deal. Just creating chaos with Mutalisk, Lings and banelings is something that we see very often. Now there is 6 gases. There's not a lot of drones. You see there's the main and natural are saturated, but the third base is the opposite of saturated. There's only 3 drones there on the minerals. The gas however is saturated. Hello? What are we doing here, sir? That's intentional. Probably to give more space for the queens to move through, make it less of a bottleneck against Mutalisk. So we do have a wall here with this Evo Chamber. There's a Spore being built next to it because Dark is realizing this is one of the weak spots in his defense. A vulnerable location, another Overlord going on. Big supply block here for Dark. Spore gets sniped, and like I said, Evo Chamber is a bit of a vulnerable spot here. Perhaps later on, with some good Muta micro, we will see Solar go for that again. For now, just extra spores being added. We see pathogen glands being researched, so Infestors is the path of choice here for Dark, who almost has his +2, or well, almost, he has his +2 on the way already. There's not a single upgrade done yet for Solar. +1 air flyer weapons is on the way, still 52 workers though, and more Lings being produced. So this is a Ling Muta all-in, which is kind of rare to see, honestly. A lot of the time we see Mutas being played with very high eco. Actually a big jump on the queens here. We'll be able to get 3, perhaps 4 of them. No, good transfuses, save a bunch. Spores are being sniped. Another queen goes down. Oh, a lot of drones and overlords being damaged, but still 4 queens here and a couple of spores will be able to hold the line for now. Another spore falls. This Evo Chamber falls, that would be kind of a big deal. Solar decides to jump on top of these spores. Second spore is about to finish as well. Spores do so much damage to Mutalisk. And now the second spore finishes as well, so I'm not quite sure if that was the trade that Solar needed. Fungal is out. First fungal hits, second fungal hits as well, and a lot of mutas have gone down already. 14 mutas have fallen, so Dark just in a little bit of a lead at this point. I feel like superior tech. He has a solid defense. The only thing he's really lacking is his queen count, which he's back up to 5 already. I wouldn't mind seeing him go up to slightly higher once again, like he was before. 54 workers are out right now for Solar, who's getting into a Hydra Den. The problem with a Hydra Den at this point is that this is most likely for lurkers, right? He's not just going to build Hydras. Problem is that the lurkers won't have any upgrades, as right now we have +1 melee on the way. And, you know, melee upgrades don't really work for lurkers. So yeah, we do see the lurker then, a couple of Hydras being built, of course, so he can indeed morph them into lurkers later on. +2 has finished for Dark already, and I wouldn't even mind him slowly moving into Hive to get those extra upgrades. We see a second Evo Chamber going down. I'm not quite sure what this is for. Maybe he's afraid to research carapace on this one, afraid that it might die. But I feel like Dark is kind of overestimating the threat of the Mutalisk here. Yeah, he's... Okay, so Dark is kind of countering the style I was talking about, the Ling, Bane, Mutalisk stuff. Dark is not aware of how low the eco was of Solar, I think, during all of this. 52 workers, of course, very, very low. And even now, just only 61 workers here for Solar. If he had 61 lurkers, that'd be pretty good. I think he might just be able to walk in and kill his opponent then. But 61 workers, not quite as powerful in a fight. We do have the first lurkers on the way right now for Solar, who... I mean, it might actually allow him to snipe a lot of this Hydra force. And even though there's not that many Mutalisks, there's still 14 Mutalisks. So if you do end up killing like 7-8 Hydras here, all of a sudden these Mutalisks, they pose a real threat to this army. The funny thing here is that Solar is completely out of position. He does have 2 lurkers at home. Does need to burrow it. Does really need to burrow it. There we go. Couple of lurkers coming back in. Good fungal being casted will, of course, reveal those lurkers, as there is no overseer here. Still one lurker going pretty ham over here. We need one more fungal on top of that lurker here, Dark. Hello? I don't think Dark gives a crap, honestly. He's just fungling everything. He's like, alright, you have a lurker. That's cool. Keep fighting into my army with it. And how many kills does this one have? 5 kills so far on this lurker. A lot of damage. Okay, yeah, this was a mistake. This lurker did so much damage. Don't forget, all of these 8 kills are either roaches or hydra, so that's 16 supply killed by a single lurker. He did a lot of work, this guy. I feel like they should retire him at this point. Just send him back home. Let him burrow in the back of the base until the end of the game. Win or lose, you know. This guy deserves a medal. But no, instead they send him in wounded. Didn't even send him like to the medic. To the field hospital. Was there any queens that could heal him? No, there's no queens left. Wow, what the hell? There's a single queen for Solar right now. Who is still trying to get something done here. I mean, he does have a lot of Mutalisk. And he is rebuilding Mutalisk again. He's getting Baning speed at this point. I'm gonna... Yeah, this is it. Look at him. This is the guy. 8 kills. He's still alive. The legend. Lives to see another day. Retreating. We still have Dark, of course, in a massive upgrade lead. +2 against 1-1. And don't forget the main DPS in the army that Solar currently has. Should have been the lurker. So now he is going into that Ling Bane style with Mutalisk. But, I mean, there's fungals already. There's +2. There's a queen count that's pretty big. Lurkers are coming out. So this fourth base is pretty much safe. Hive is on the way now. Hive can be for 2 things, either +3 or for Viper, or perhaps for both. Viper's of course very, very good with Parasitic Bomb against these Mutalisks. And +3 just very good in general. There's no carapace upgrades yet here for Dark, which does confuse me a little bit. I feel like we should have seen that a little faster. As he had a lot of evos for a very long time. Decides to go for this evo to research carapace. I'm not quite sure why. Probably because that's the only evo he has hotkeyed. Because, I mean, these evos are just a lot more protected and a lot more healthy looking. A couple of lurkers here will be able to save this base for now. I can only imagine. Decent Bane run by. Wow, actually that dies. It was not a cancel, so that base dies, but not the most cost-effective trade here for Solar, who is still on a low drone count. Sure, he's mining from a lot of gas, but he's not actually on that many drones. I mean, 63 drones, that's not great. We see, this is a big meter count. How many is there? 24. So, a couple of queens going down once again. This Spore not getting sniped. I'm surprised, honestly. I'm very surprised by that. Oh, good fungals. 1, 2. Decent splits as well, though, coming out of Solar, honestly. We'll end up losing a bunch of Mutalisk here. There's still 3 Infestors left, and now the Vipers are coming out as well, which is actually going to be a pretty big deal, right? The thing with Vipers is just that they're pretty good against Mutalisk. Parasitic Bomb just absolutely rips Mutas apart. Throw 2 of those in a clump of Mutas, and all of a sudden you have 35 Mutas without any HP left. Now there is Adaptive Talents on the way here for Dark as well. So these lurkers will be able to burrow faster. Not a single fungal is hitting there. I would have loved Solar to get just slightly more workers earlier. Like, he keeps building more and more links, which these links haven't been able to do too much. I just feel like going up to something like 75 workers like just 2-3 minutes ago would have been able to give him slightly more chances. No +2 being researched yet, either for neither Air, honestly, or the Banes. This is some very good micro though by Solar, who, while sending in Ling and Banes, is actually catching a lot of the lurkers off guard. Parasitic Bomb gets cast, and Solar is like, alright, I'm out of here. So you might be wondering, why exactly did he leave? Well, the reason why he left was, this is an army that is really momentum based, where you need to be doing constant damage, and you need to be able to always keep your opponent at home. And I think once Solar saw the 3 Vipers, realized he still didn't have +2, had no upgrades, no hive, so no ultra potential either. Like, even if he kills a bunch of lurkers, he still has absolutely nothing left to fight, so he decided it was best to leave. So yeah, just I think this game is a little bit a product of the early game here, where Dark just was kind of far ahead, and then just pushed that into a win, or transitioned that into a win. Very well done by Dark. Now, if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, so that helps me a lot. And I'll see you all next time for a new cast. Bye bye.